Combinations. When we learn about combinations, we have to remember that when you will see the words, when you write the words, or when you hear the words, the way that they are made is that you will sometimes have two vowels right next to each other. And the way in which you pronounce it when that happens is you pronounce the first one. If the two of them are together, you pronounce the first one in a long sound. So you take a little bit longer on the first vowel, and then the second one is silent or almost silent, but you usually don't pronounce the second one. You act as if the second one is not here. So this word will be pronounced daily. So you take a little bit longer on the A, and then you skip the I and you say li. Same with eat. You don't say iat or eat. You say eat. So you consider the first letter, the first vowel, and then you just continue with the rest of the word. So you'll say pie, you'll say out, you'll say boat, stay, feel, etc. When you have two consonants next to each other, here you pronounce both of them. So it will be act, post, sleep, blue, and friend. Some consonants, when we put them next to each other, they create a completely different sound, right? So you won't pronounce like we saw previously where you pronounce each of them. There are cases where it becomes something else. So for example, CH, C and H becomes ch, and it's very different than in French. CH, you pronounce it almost as if there's a T in front. So it becomes ch. You say church, you say child. You don't say cherche, you don't say child. You say church and child when it's a C in front. When there's an S in front, that's how you pronounce it, like the normal sh sound that is in French. You'll say short, you say shy, you say shadow, etc. Another famous sound with the the French speakers, with Francophones, is the TH sound. And this one is difficult because it doesn't exist, right, in French, but it's something that we have to learn. So to pronounce the TH sound, you have to make sure that your tongue touches your palate. It must touch the top of your, okay, I feel like you need to see me when I do this. So for the TH sound, your tongue needs to touch the top of your mouth, the palate, and then it needs to come out of your lips just a little bit, like, and so you say like this, both, bathroom. It doesn't have to be crazy. It's something that comes with time also. It's something that comes with experience. The more you say it, the more comfortable you'll be about saying it. But just remember, the tip is always your tongue must touch the top of your mouth, and it must come out of your teeth just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, so that's TH, this, both, bathroom. PH, just like in French, PH becomes F, and the word is pharmacy or phone. GH, GH can either be pronounced G or F. So for the first word, GH will be pronounced G, and you'll say ghost. For the second one, it's pronounced F, and so you'll say laugh.
Okay.
WH. WH can, so here's a perfect example. WH, the first one, it's pronounced as if the H is silent. So you'll just say whale. So when the H is next to W, sometimes the H becomes silent and the word is whale. In the next word, it's the W that becomes silent and you just pronounce the H, and so the word is whole. So here you say whale as if there's no H. Here you say whole, as if there's no W. I know, the English language is very weird. Then, if you have two S's next to each other, you don't pronounce it S like in French, it becomes sh. So pressure, session, issue. Another problematic one with French speakers, with francophones, is the letter H. And that's because in French, the letter H, we never pronounce it. It's like it's a ghost. It's like it doesn't exist, right? When there's H somewhere, we just ignore it. It's always silent. However, in English, you pronounce it. And the way you pronounce it is by making this wind sound in front of every word. So you'll say hope, hospital, happy, hate, health. You have to do that to pronounce the letter H. And this is tricky, and it's something that was very difficult for me when I first started speaking English, because I could never know where to say it and when not to say it, because I wasn't used to it. But it comes with time. So remember, if a word doesn't have H in front, you pronounce it normally like you pronounce a French word. You'll say eat, you'll say apple, I don't know what else, orange. But if there's an H in front, don't say hope, don't say hospital, say hope, hospital. You have to hear the h so that you know that there's a letter H in front. Next thing that I wanted to talk about today is stressing the right syllable. And for that, I have an example before we go into the word. And I want to say that example in French. So, je m'appelle Dora. Mon nom c'est Dora. Mes parents m'appellent Dora. Tout le monde m'appelle Dora. Mais il y a des personnes qui m'appellent Dora. Et c'est quelque chose qui ça m'a toujours dérangé. Je ne comprends pas pourquoi. Mais c'est juste en fait la tonalité. C'est juste la différence entre Dora et Dora. Donc, certaines personnes mettent l'accent sur la première syllabe et on a l'impression que ça transforme le mot. En français, ça n'a peut-être pas d'importance, mais en anglais, vous verrez, je vais vous expliquer que ça change complètement la signification du mot. C'est-à-dire que le même mot peut s'écrire de la même façon, mais si tu mets l'accent sur la première syllabe, ça veut dire quelque chose d'autre. Et si tu mets l'accent sur la deuxième ou la troisième syllabe, ça veut dire quelque chose de ça. Transforme complètement le sens du mot, en fait. Donc, le premier cas de figure, c'est... Okay, back to English, sorry. So the first example is when you have words that just have one syllable. One syllable, one sound. Donc, les mots qui n'ont qu'une seule syllabe, un seul son, on n'a pas le choix que de mettre l'accent sur la seule syllabe ou le seul son qu'on entend. So that will be dog, cat, eat, day, rain, food, etc. No problem, okay? This one, easy. The other example or the other case that you might find is words with two syllables. And here, the general rule is that if it's a noun, if it's an adjective, or if it's an adverb, you put the stress on the first syllable. You put the emphasis on the first syllable. And I've put it here in bold so you can see. La partie qu'on doit accentuer est en gras. So you'll say happy, little, running, simple, simply, right? If I did it the other way around, it wouldn't sound correct. So for example, I can't say happy, little, running. You see that it sounds weird. So you're supposed to put the stress on the first syllable for nouns, adjectives, and adverbs. Now, when do you put the stress on the second syllable? Is when it's a verb. So, record, combine, insist. You see that I'm putting the emphasis, I'm putting the stress on the second syllable. An example of a word that can be both a noun and a verb is record. Record. If I say record, it means I'm recording something. It's a verb. But if I say record, if I put the emphasis on r, then that's your clue to know that this is a noun. So if I'm recording something, it's the verb, the action of recording. But once something is recorded, I have a record of something. I don't know if you get the difference, but it's the same word. It's written exactly the same way. But depending on where you put the accent, depending on where you put the stress, it means two different things. Next is words that have 3 syllables, right? So if you have 3 syllables, the general rule is that if the word ends in ER, OR, LY, or Y, you stress the first syllable. For example, ball player, narrator, frequently, library, strategy. You wouldn't say ball, I don't even know how to say it and stress the end like ball player. It sounds wrong. You would stress the second syllable if the word ends in TION, SION, IC, or AL. For example, reception, expansion, strategic, potential. You see that here the stress is in the middle. It's in the middle of the word. It's the second syllable. And then there are words that you stress the third syllable, and that's for words that end in double E, double ER, ESE, and ETTE. For example, referee, pioneer, Lebanese, vinaigrette. Okay? Words with 4 syllables, usually, so if there's 4, it means there's an opportunity to either stress the first, the second, the third, or the fourth syllable. However, yes, it does exist, but usually, most commonly, you would either stress the second or the third syllable. So these are the examples I've given you here. You stress the second syllable when the word ends in CY, TY, PHY, GY, or AL. For example, transparency, fraternity, philosophy, geology, political. And if you can see here, I gave you an example earlier of sometimes a syllable is just one letter. So here the O on its own, because it makes a sound that is separate from the other sounds, it's considered a syllable, and it's the second syllable, and so you stress that O and you say geology. Geology, political. You would stress the third syllable if the word ends in TION, SION, IC. For example, constitution, apprehension, supersonic. Okay? So these are the general rules. These are the basic, I've just given you the basic rules. With that, you will know what or how to pronounce a word. Now, I have tips for you to help you do that. The first thing, you have to listen, because these things, it comes with habits, right? It's like I say, it's like I always say, it comes with practice. And I've written here, practice makes perfect. En français, on dirait, c'est en forgeant qu'on devient forgeron. Donc, ces règles-là, ce sont des règles de base qu'il faut connaître. Mais à la fin de la journée, c'est la pratique qui fait en sorte qu'on arrive à identifier certains mots, qu'on se familiarise avec les mots et qu'on sache comment les prononcer. Donc, en écoutant la radio, des podcasts, les informations, la musique, etc., plus on écoute, plus on s'expose à des gens qui prononcent des mots en anglais, plus on saura comment les prononcer. Le deuxième type, c'est de regarder des émissions, de regarder la télévision, des documentaires, si possible avec les sous-titres en anglais. Sur YouTube, sur Netflix, peu importe. Ce que ça fait, c'est qu'on voit en même temps le mot et en même temps on l'entend, et donc le cerveau enregistre et retient que voilà comment on prononce ce mot-là. Et puis Google, quand on ne sait vraiment pas, on peut se renseigner sur Google et savoir comment prononcer un mot. So, je vais vous montrer, si je peux arrêter de partager mon écran. Je veux vous montrer comment sur Google. Vous voyez toujours mon écran? Là, vous voyez que je suis sur Google? OK, good. Donc, je vais sur Google, par exemple, et je veux prononcer un mot. Donc, je mets ici extraordinary et puis je mets pronunciation. So I do that, and this is what Google shows me. It's a little bit slow. So Google shows me how to pronounce this word. So I just wrote extraordinary pronunciation, and it tells me that this is how you pronounce it. The first X, you say extraordinary. And then it even tells me that the straw here that is in bold is the one that has to be stressed. It's the one that I have to put the emphasis on. So I know that I would say extraordinary. Now, if that's not enough, and if I'm still not sure, I can click on this lady here and she will tell me. Let's hear that again. And you can even change the English. This is the British pronunciation. You can go to American pronunciation and see here it changes a little bit. Now it's extraordinary. So the pronunciation is slightly different because of the accent. And you can ask her again and she'll tell you. So if you don't know how to pronounce a word, you can always ask Google. I'm going to ask a different word because just to show you, this is another word that I really like. It's one of my favorite words, strategy. And the way I say it is strategy. Now we will see what Google says. Okay, Google says you put the accent on the first one and you say strategy. Let's hear it. Strategy. And then if I want the American pronunciation, I do that and I ask. There we go. So this is just, like I was saying, a way of just finding out if you have a word that you're really not sure how to pronounce. You can go to Google, you can ask Google, and Google will tell you exactly how to pronounce it, like so. So I have a little activity for us here. So the words are, we just saw this one, extraordinary, hotelier, appreciate, evening, Gabonese, degree, unemployed, happy, diploma, passionate, manager, juice, reading, thing, comfortable, often, phenomenon, specific, temperature, and choir. And then here I put two sentences. It's called tongue twisters. It's sentences that are difficult, particularly difficult to pronounce. It's done to help people learn how to pronounce words. So the first sentence is Arthur Smith is the author of math theory. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Okay, now it's your turn. Who wants to go first?
Hello.
Marlon, vas-y. J'ai vu ton doigt.
For the extraordinary,
Yes.
atelier,
Mm-hmm.
appreciate,
Appreciate.
evening, appreciate, is that?
Yes. Yes.
Evening,
Mm-hmm.
Gabonese,
Yes.
degree,
Degree.
and degree,
Yes.
that?
Perfect.
Unemployed.
Perfect.
Happy.
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 Don't forget the
Happy.
H. Happy. Yes. Happy.
Happy. Yes.
Yes.
Diploma.
Mm-hmm.
Passionate.
Yes.
Manager.
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 Yes.
Juice.
Mm-hmm.
Reading,
Yes.
sing,
Mm-hmm.
comfortable,
Yes.
often,
Mm-hmm.
phenomenon,
Yes.
spec- uh, specific,
Specific.
okay, specific,
Yes.
temperature,
Mm-hmm.
choir,
Choir.
So, am I going to? I'm going to try.
Yes.
Word. So
Okay.
extraordinary,
Yes.
hotelier,
Yes.
appreciate, evening,
Appreciate.
Gabon, appreciate,
Appreciate.
appreciate,
Yes.
evening,
Yeah.
Gabonese,
Gabonese.
Gabonese,
Yes.
degree,
Yeah.
unemployed,
Mm-hmm.
happy,
Yes.
diploma,
Yeah.
passionate,
Mm-hmm.
manager,
Perfect.
juice,
Yes.
reading, thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
comfortable,
Comfortable.
comfortable,
Yes.
often,
Mm-hmm.
phenomenon,
Yeah.
specific,
Specific.
specific,
Yes.
temperature,
Temperature.
choir, temperature, choir.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So this brings us to the end of today's lesson. I hope you liked it. Let me just pop back on camera. So thank you so much. We can continue on the group. Feel free to keep engaging and keep pronouncing. I'll send the document in the group. I have another list of other words so we can keep practicing, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dora.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you next time.